Everybody, if you want to speak, just unmute or raise your hand with one of the emojis. Coach Tomas, it's on you, sir. You have to unmute after I mute everybody.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for hopping in. Let me share my screen really quick. So, the topic that I got for you all today is time management. So, this is one of the main things that I see, excuse me, that I see my clients struggling with. That is time management. And I see um, a really important topic to develop to be efficient with our time, to enjoy everything more and be better at everything, right? So that's why I'm naming it Mastering Time Management. And I'll share a few strategies to become more effective and more productive. Okay. Uh, Someone knows what time management is and wants to share it.
Time management is being efficient with the time that you're given.
Yes. Somebody else?
Knowing how to juggle your life or I should say your daily tasks and managing them in a proper, I guess, time slot. That way you can get everything done without overdoing it or focusing too much on one thing.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. You're both right.
And it's
Um,
also about
there.
planning properly.
Yes, perfect. I always say have a plan, right? It's always easier to follow a plan if you have one. If you improvise, it's always harder to get things addressed. So, what is time management? It's the process of planning and controlling how much time to spend on specific activities. Okay, being effective and productive with the time. Okay, as you both said, effectively planning our time and also productively completing the activities that we need to accomplish for the day, for the week, for the month, for the hour, whatever it is, right? So you were all three right with what you said. So why is time management important? Right? Because we can become, first of all, we increase our productivity. Okay. The number one thing that also is extremely important is that we reduce stress. So basically, when we are improvising and we have a lot of things in our mind, um, it's like we tend to come to an end of burnout, right? If we have all our ideas in our mind, and for example, we do not put it into paper, and we're not organized, and we do not plan, we tend to get to a point where we are overstressed or becomes overwhelming. So it's extremely important that we manage our time right. So we all have 24 hours in a day. It's a matter of how you can handle those hours, right? And also, extremely important, it improves our work-life balance, right? If we're effective with our work or the things that we have to do for the day, for the week, for the month, we can spend more time with our beloved ones and enjoying more our life because we, for example, people that work in an office, they come back home and they can spend more time, valuable time with their beloved ones, with their family. So it's extremely important. If we are all the time stressed, um, we do not have a good work-life balance. And also, one of the main things that I talk with my clients a lot is building a routine, right? Knowing exactly what you're going to do at that certain time, right? Building a routine. We talk a lot about bedtime, waking up time, working out hours, the times that you're going to do your meals, for example, lunch, dinner, and falling into a structure. I like to say that falling into a structure is extremely important. So what happens when we have bad time management, right? Um, for example, we are unorganized, we have to improvise, our life is chaos. We're unfocused while doing a task because we have, for example, our mind in a different task that we have to do. So when we're at work, we're thinking about our time off or the workout that we have to do because we didn't plan, right? And we want to fit everything at the same time. So it's extremely important to have that addressed and getting ahead of the curve, right? We can forget about things. I like to put things in paper. I have like different reminders about certain things. I also use my calendar. So I'll explain a few techniques that I use. But also, as I mentioned, when we have bad time management, we do not get into a routine. We lack with discipline. We cannot stick to what we want to do. Okay. Does anyone want to share their experience when they, for example, they were lacking with time management and they started organizing themselves, for example, using a calendar or getting better with their routine? JB?
Yeah, man. I mean, you are the one that helped me to really, sort of pin down my time management. Because I was one of those that I just sort of took things as they came, and I would notice that, I would drop the ball on certain things. Like you said, would feel overwhelmed, overstressed unnecessarily. And, as I started to manage things better, I used my Google Calendar, like you suggested, and it's made a huge difference about just keeping everything organized and not having to feel so unnecessarily, stressed out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's extremely helpful for others that maybe they do not want to use their Google Calendar. Who else?
So, oh, there we go. So I'm on. So at home, I'm pretty good. I actually do have to do a lot of it at work. I had to create, I call it the mother of all logistical trackers, and I just have to throw everything into one spreadsheet to keep track of everything because it's just so um time consuming. So I started doing that at home actually with like finances and all sorts of stuff, and it's really helped me like reduce the amount of time I have to do stuff because it's kind of all organized into one place.
Yeah, that's great. So when we speak about time, that's not like the management, that's not necessarily needs to be related to time, right? It's planning everything, for example, as you said, finances. So basically, like getting good at using our time is going to help us in mostly like all the aspects that we face in our life, right? Um, this can be applied to whatever you can think of. Anyone else wants to share something?
I use dry erase boards. I've got some pretty bad ADHD, so if I don't try and manage things, the anxiety spikes are just extreme. Just in my bedroom, I have two dry erase boards. One is by my desk, one is by my bed. I have notes on there to say, okay, when you get up, brush your teeth, make sure you make breakfast, drink your coffee, or it's going to be bad for everybody. These are the loads of laundry I need to do today. Over by my desk for work, because I work from home, okay, you need to call Geico. You need to call this person. You need to do that. And before we repainted the walls, I had 5 dry erase boards downstairs, one with the week's menu. So people would stop asking me what's for dinner, one with all the tasks that need to be done downstairs, one's for the kids. These are your chores today. You're on trash tonight. You're on dishes. That way it's just all laid out and it's wherever I turn, I can be reminded of these tasks. If I don't see it, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. That's great. That's great. I understand that because I'm also a pretty anxious person. So if I don't put things down on paper and I don't put it, I might forget, as it says there, like you become forgetful. Like even with things simple that it says like brush your teeth or what are you going to eat exactly. So yeah, that's great. Thank you for sharing that, Rebecca. Anyone else?
I have all kinds of lists. I put stuff in my phone on my calendar. If if there's a bill I know I have to pay by a certain time or I want to do it this weekend, I'll just automatically, instead of trying to remember it, I'll put it on my phone in my calendar by a specific time to do it. If I'm at work, everything, but when I start the day, I write down everything I need to get done that day. And if I remember new tasks that have to pop up once things are done, I'll write those down and I just start checking things off. It makes me feel more accomplished and it keeps me on task.
Exactly. Also, the fact of putting it in a list and checking it down as you did it is also going to help you. Like, you know that you did it, so it's going to become better in terms of your anxiety or stress or task accomplished is always useful. So that's great. I do the same thing. I got like my reminders come in my phone, so I do not forget about things because I have my phone always handy. So that's something that we can implement. Anyone else, or I move forward?
Yeah, I got
No? Okay.
disc binder. It's great, especially if those of you who keep an electronic calendar, you can just print these out and they make a special hole punch for this thing. And the sheets can go in and out real easy. But a great tool for your day job and for your personal life. I use it for both. So just a great tool. It has calendar pages, all that kind of stuff as well. But disc binders are fantastic. I was never a person to use that kind of stuff before, and just recently did I start using it, and especially in my professional life, have I found a tremendous amount of balance with my time in my professional life.
Thank you for sharing that, Chris. Yeah, that's also an excellent idea. It really depends, and you need to find. I always say that you need to find what works for you. It might be digital, it might be paper, whatever it is that works for you. As I said, we're going to talk about a few options, but you always need to find what suits you. What suits you might not suit other one. Okay. So here is one time management tool that, if I pronounce right, this guy's name, Eisenhower Matrix, is how to organize a task, right? So basically you have this chart. So for example, when you got something to do, first of all, you need to think about if it's urgent or not urgent, right? That's the first decision that you got to take. And the second decision that you need to think about, is it important or is it not important? So for example, if an action is urgent and important, you do it now, as you see right here. Can you see my pointer? Okay, perfect. For example, when something is, this is like, I don't know, a case that you might be a boss or you can delegate something to someone that is urgent and not important. You can delegate it and somebody else can do it for you. Most people will not be able to do this one, but there are cases like, for example, when it's not urgent and, as you see in here, not urgent and it's important, you plan for it. Let's say that you have a doctor's appointment, I don't know, in 2 weeks from now, right? It's important, yes, but it's not urgent. You have it scheduled in your calendar, for example. I'll try to read the chat. My time management is horrible. Okay, yeah, Scott, it's time management is a skill, so it requires time. One thing that I'm going to say is like, think about your first day at your job, right? You were not as good as you are today. First workout, right? You're not good as you were as you are today. So those are things that we need to work on, and it will improve. We got to make our mistakes and fail to become better. Okay. But yeah, going back to this matrix. So basically, when it's not urgent and not important, you just drop it. Because as I said, this is a way to set the priorities, can be for the day, for the weeks, or whatever it is. So you divide into the chart and you pick something or whatever you have to do, and you see what piece of the chart falls in. Okay, does this make sense for you all? Anyone has any question on this? Okay, I hope it was clear. So we always talk about goals, right? I'm going to give first shout out of the night to Greg, that he always speaks about setting smart goals. He bring this in his presentation a few months ago about setting, first of all, smart goals for success, right? So smart goals is a tool that we use, first of all, to set these goals that is going to make us achieve whatever we want to achieve. So, for example, when you come to this program, right? You have your own goal, whatever you want to achieve. If it's weight loss, if it's weight gain, whatever it is, in a certain amount of time, right? So, smart means that the goals needs to be specific. So basically, it needs to be clear, and also it's going to give you understanding to know where to get started, right? Measurable. So basically, these goals need to be tracked. You need to be able to see progress. First pound, second pound that you lose, for example, and also measurable when you get to your goal, right? If it's 40 pounds, whatever it is, like getting to that, you need to track that, right? Actionable. A goal also needs to be actionable, that you actually is perfect. I'm going to talk a little bit about take action moving forward. But basically, is this something that you can achieve, right? Is it like moving forward to the next one? Is it realistic? It's something that you can do, okay? So you cannot say, I want to lose. Well, you can, right? But it wouldn't be smart. I want to lose 100 pounds in a week, right? We know it's not realistic, right? So it's a bit extreme, okay? So goals also should be realistic. And also time bound, always important to set a time, either if it's an year, 6 months, 5 years, or 10 years, right? It's a time that you're going to focus on that work and craft it. Okay? Anyone has any questions so far? No questions? Okay. So this is a big one. A great slide, right? Ways to time management, as we talk about. You guys gave a few examples about it. Number one, using your phone's calendar, right? Grabbing Outlook calendar, Google Calendar, iOS calendar, whatever it is, to be able to time management. At least put on the main things that you have to do. You'll get reminders. Take advantage of that technology that we have in our daily basis in our phones, right? Another thing that you can do, reminders, alarms, whatever you want to call them, right? To remind you to, for example, eat. Some people forget to eat. Some people forget to drink their water, right? Some people forget to work out. So for example, setting those reminders in your phone. I actually set my Google Calendar reminders, so I know exactly what I have to do at a certain time. So it's also, I use a few because it's related also to time blocking, that I will get to that. But basically setting up alarms in your phone, for example, to wait in, as I said. One good one that one of the art coaches uses, Marianne, shout out for her, that she has her whiteboard in there. She writes everything down and she always stares to that. To organize their tasks, like what things had to be addressed that month, that week, to track her progress, to stay on top of their goals. Marianne, you want to share a little bit about that one?
Sure. I too have a little bit of ADD, get distracted quite often. And, that's difficult to do. A lot of us have jobs now. We're sitting in front of the computer all the time, and there's all these like dings and whistles and notifications that are going off all the time. So while I do time block and I use Google Calendar, I don't use it in the same way that a lot of people use, because I get so easily distracted with the dings and then reminders. So I also keep, like Tomas said, whiteboards for the information that I don't have to go to my phone for. So it just it keeps me out of my phone, which is a distraction for me. So if there's something immediate that I need to answer on a regular basis, I put it on my whiteboard, and then I can look there quickly, as opposed to grabbing my phone, because the second I grab my phone, I'm probably going to get distracted by the 30 notifications that are sitting at the top of it. And then, you know, an hour later, I haven't put my phone down, and now I'm dealing with time lost. So that's definitely a strategy that I use to minimize distraction, and I don't get lost into my phone.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, that's great. Also, to piggyback off that, right? We also can use sticky notes if we want to avoid our phone, wherever it is. You can put a sticky note. I suggest my clients, when they forget to wait in the morning, put a sticky note in the mirror, right, to remind you to wait in. Right. So I use sticky notes. Actually, I don't like my notes are not sticky, but I just put them on a board with a magnet. So that reminds me about certain things that I have to do, right? So that's always something useful. You can divide and put different colors if you want to keep it nice. I'm not that nice, like having a mess right there, but it works, right? So it depends on what works for you. But I'm also a visual person, so it helps me see certain things. So I know that I got to address them. Okay. And the other one that is, in my opinion, the most important one is time blocking. I'll talk about this one. Okay. Anyone wants to share their experience with sticky notes, with planners, or whiteboards, with timers, alarms, or phone's calendar?
If you don't have a whiteboard, dry erase boards, dry erase markers on your bathroom mirror to remind you of stuff. And sometimes I write little notes to myself to saying, hey, you look great today, because it's always a nice pick me up. So you can always use notes on your mirror too with the dry erase markers.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Great idea. I actually have what is it, like a small whiteboard in my fridge. So whenever I go and grab some water, I can see that too. That is, for example, for the groceries, right? What I need to buy if I don't have more meat for the meat prep, for example, or those certain things are always useful. Anyone else?
Can somebody else hit the mute button for me while I'm driving, or you're going to hear a lot of road rage?
I don't know how to do that. You did it. That's done. Anyone else? No? Okay. So time blocking, big one. Okay. All my clients heard me talk about this. Like, are you time blocking? What does time blocking mean, right? So basically, time blocking is main thing is to focus at one thing at a time. Okay. So let me read the chat really quick. Okay. So basically, speaking of Google Calendar, speaking of like whiteboards, whatever it is that you use, like for example, in this case, where you see like a paper calendar, it's like putting time bound for a certain activity that you are going to do during that day. So as you see, for example, from 7 to 9 workout, right? And doing it that for the week. Okay. So this is a personal suggestion that some people might be good with it, with multitasking. But time blocking allows you to focus at one thing at a time. Okay, so that's to clarify, if needed, is to focus on one thing at a time and getting good at that certain thing. Okay. Also, extremely important. You can see it also in this calendar, right? make sure that you have some breaks. You see, from basically 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., nothing is cool. So you have some time for the self. This can be for spend time with the family, spend time to the kids. I don't know. Social media, whatever you want to do that helps you, that needs to be scheduled too. Okay. So this is one technique that will make you become more efficient with the time that you have available. Okay. It might be there's a few apps that they are called like kind of productivity or time efficient. I don't know. I know it as the Pomodoro technique. Okay. So basically, I'm going to give an example of how you should use this. Okay. So it's like a 5-step that, let's say that you have to study for an exam, right? And you want to be efficient with your time. So that's step number 1. I'm going to study. Okay. So as I said, you set a timer, 25 minutes. There you have like some apps that do that for yourself, that they even come with this technique so you can implement that. You're going to study for 25 minutes. Okay. You're going to work. I suggest that you throw your phone out the window. No, I'm just kidding, but leave it in another room, right? And focus on what exactly you have to do for those 25 minutes. And I'm sure that you'll do pretty good in those 25 minutes if you do not have any distractions, right? That's the focus on it. So that's the first step. The fourth step, once those 25 minutes go through, you take a 5-minute break, I don't know, to go to the bathroom, to grab some water, to see if you have any notifications. I don't know. I don't suggest that, but you can do it too. But it's basically giving yourself a gift of focusing like 25 minutes and taking 5 off. After you repeat that for 4 times, so basically 2 hours, kind of, yeah, 2 hours. There's the time when you should take a longer break, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. It can be a lunch break, it can be whatever you want to do. You can go for a walk. My breaks tend to like, I stand up from my chair because I'm sitting down all day long, and I go and walk some steps around my place, or I go outside, walk my dog, whatever it is, right? So that's why I suggest not staring at your phone, because that is going to mentally tire you, and we want to be as effective as possible during these 25 minutes. Did anyone try this before? Anyone uses a productivity timer or a productivity app? No one? Okay, I suggest that you try it. It's a pretty good technique because, as I said, you will be surprised of how much you can get achieved with no distractions in 25 minutes. So you always get back to the same thing. I'm a huge fan of telling everyone, especially my clients, to have a plan. Okay, having a plan is always useful, and it's going to help you. If you improvise, you're going to be all over the place. And this applies for everything, for time management, for your life, whatever it is. Okay, so first of all, set your goals that you have for the day. Identify like what you need to do, what are specific things that you must address, what are important things that you need to do in your day. Think about the family time that you want to spend and what time that is going to be. Okay, and what appointment you have to, like, do you have to work, do you have a doctor appointment, whatever it is, right? Think about what you have to do for that certain day. Okay, get ahead of the curve, get ahead of the day. If you need to wake up, I don't know, 10 minutes before your day starts, wake up 10 minutes and you can plan your day out. Okay, this is a skill. At the beginning, it takes a little bit longer, but moving forward, you'll be more efficient with your planning. Okay, same thing with everything. It takes practice. Here it says like prioritize, focus on the most important tasks first. One suggestion that I have based on that, for example, if you know that I don't know, you travel or you are in your day off and you do not want to worry about working out later night, getting your steps, get what is important and you know that you need to accomplish by the beginning of the day. Knock it down, knock it out of the table so you do not need to worry about that anymore. Okay, or for example, I don't know, you have something important that you got to give in work, like that day. Focus on that first. Like as soon as the day starts, your mind is fresh. You got what it requires to get it addressed as soon as possible. So start thinking about that. Okay. And there it says, like I mentioned it 1,000 times, plan ahead, organize your day, week, month, even year to stay on track. Okay. Going to cite here Warren Buffett, that he says that an idiot with a plan can be a genius without a plan. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. Okay. So where should I start, or where should you start? The number one thing that I want you to pay attention is this. Start today. Not going to be perfect, okay? But the best time to start is now. Okay, so grab a calendar, grab a sticky note, whatever you want to grab, all the options that I gave at the beginning, and start today. It's not going to be perfect, and most likely it's not going to be good. Just accept it, okay? That's the main thing, like getting started. So basically, I suggest to start first with grabbing a calendar or whatever it is, and put your wake up time and your bedtime. With that, you see the time that you have available to deal with, okay? Then you can add, for example, the times that you're going to work out, okay? Then you put, I don't know, the time that you're going to work, okay? The time that you had to travel for work, the commute time, right? Some people like to get their steps through an hour at the same time, right? You can scale that. You can put like walk bounds, like 15 minutes breaks that you can put in your calendar. Get everything that you got to do for that day or for the week to see what time you have available, and you will start noticing gaps where you can take breaks for certain activities, right? Also, time that you're going to meditate, the time that you're going to grocery shop. When are you going to have your meals? When is your lunch? When is your breakfast? When is your dinner? And then you'll notice that, yes, you do have time, right? And then also it's important that to put the family time, whatever recreational activities that you want to do. I don't know if you have to put your kids to bed. So put everything in your calendar and see what time you have available to deal with. Okay, we all have 24 hours. And I assure you that if you do this, you will see what time you have available and how can you spend it. Once you start using it, you'll become effective with your time, and you will time block for those certain activities to accomplish to a higher standard. Okay? Anyone tried this before? Like putting everything in your calendar and seeing what time you have available?
I know all the
No
coaches
one?
do. All the
Yeah.
coaches do, and so does Matt, which is where we lead by example. So it shouldn't be hard for people, especially the people that claim they are busy. The main person that should have it, if you're having an extremely busy schedule, you should be the first person to do that.
So I never did
completely
this
agree.
sorry, sir. So I
No,
never
no,
did
go
this
ahead.
I never did this for myself, but I was back in the army when they only had like 3 computers per company. That was like way back in the day. We actually managed our time effectively then. We had this great thing called white space that would build into the schedule so that you could do those things you talked about earlier, Thomas, to fit things in. But I noticed something. As soon as they had a bright idea up here, it was fill all the white space. All the important things that we needed to do that needed a little extra time, or the things that came up at the last minute, we couldn't get those done, and they began running into other tasks, and now everybody was always late. So I think this is a great tool. This is an amazing tool. And if you do that and you build your white space accordingly, which I'm probably gonna start doing this, I think it's a great way to actually maximize your time without it. Like I said, just make sure you have that white space time. And as long as you have that, I think this is a really good tool.
The crazy thing is you'll start seeing how much free time you actually got and how much time you spend on stuff that you don't need to be doing, that you could be spending on something else more productive.
Yeah,
It's
that was
crazy.
actually the big thing that I found is when I started time blocking in my calendar, because I used to just make lists. It was all these tasks, and I would just keep moving the task from one day to the next day until I started time blocking. And it was only then did I realize, like, we never ate together as a family because everybody's so busy and everybody's got this and everybody's got that. And when I actually time blocked and put it on there in like, this is how long this is going to take, and this is how long this is going to take, I identified that, you know, what David said, that white space. And it turns out that we actually did, as a family, have dinner time every single day available to us. And we didn't even realize it. So we were just flying around haphazardly through our life, skipping dinner time because we didn't think we had time. And when I actually put it all out on the calendar, now we have dinner together. And that's something that we have now that we didn't have before. And I didn't know that we had it until I did my time blocking.
Exactly. Going back to the like the time balance, like the work-life time balance, right? It says it extremely clear. Prioritize your quality time with loved ones. So organize your schedule, put everything that you have to do. And I'm sure that if you take it off your mind and you do that exercise of putting everything into a calendar, into a piece of paper, whatever you want to do it, like, you will be more efficient with your time. You'll see what time you have available and you will take advantage of that. It's extremely important to do that. I didn't believe it before, so that's always something to implement, like try new things. Okay, might not make any sense now, but I'm sure that it will work. Okay. Anyone else wants to share?
Yeah, so I think you guys have like all touched on it already, which is awesome, but like time management is not about restriction. It doesn't put you in a box, it's about freedom. And people think that with structure comes less freedom. That's couldn't be fucking farther from the truth. Because when you manage your time appropriately and with intention, just like Tomas went over, you get more done in less time. You stop wasting energy and effort and time on things that don't matter. And you actually create space. You create more space for the things that do matter, you know, family, growth, you know, rest, whatever. So discipline doesn't put you in a box. It doesn't. It opens up and unlocks the life that you say you want. Time management isn't about stealing freedom. It's about giving freedom back to you.
I have a trick
100%
that I
agree.
use too. I'm fully retired, so I don't as busy as everyone else. But the days that I have a full book day, I do overbook time for certain things, which will give me extra time throughout the day. So I'm like if I know something will take me like an hour 20, I may give myself an hour and a half for it. It'll give me 10 extra minutes. I don't have to rush, or it'll give me 10 extra minutes to do something else.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Nathan. Yeah, it's a good idea. Um, like, basically when you want, like, that is going to give you, as Greg said, some flexibility to get that accomplished. Basically, by doing that, you set your times. You do not rush through that, right? Like, going back to the same thing doesn't mean that it's like something mandatory that you have in your calendar to do. You have your plan A, right? Then life is going to hit and some things are not going to go as planned. But if you have one plan set, right, it's easier to stick to it. I tell my clients how a plan A and how a plan B, right? Give me, for example, I don't know, meal prepping is going to be Saturday at 2 p.m., right? That's a 90% shot to happen, right? What happens if at 2 p.m., I don't know, you have a soccer game from the kid, right? you have your plan B that is going to be, for example, Sunday at 6 p.m., whatever it is that you're going to get that accomplished. Okay, so that's also a tool that you can implement. And as I said, it's not mandatory. Like, this is going to help you be more efficient. Does that make sense? Anyone else? Okay, one of our core values. Okay, taking action. Take action today. Going back to the same thing, start today, right? Start small. Pick one technique, whatever it is, to try today. Be consistent with that, like do it for a few days, for a few weeks, and track your progress, how you do with that. And based on that, on how you do it, how effective you become, if it's working or not, change it, adjust it when you need it. Maybe it's perfect right away. It can happen too, right? Who's going to start with their time management today? Marianne? David? Annette? Annette, you want to talk? Jacob, you want to talk? No? Okay. Great, great. Well, I'm glad that you're going to start with that. I'm sure that you will see benefits from that. And if not, find another way, as it says here, like adjust it, right? It's not going to be perfect right away.
Mute. I was on mute.
Yeah.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hey, just wanted to say, I do have like a lot of calendars on my phone, on my kitchen, by my desk. I mean, everywhere. Usually they all say the same thing, but just, I have to work on to keep track of what I actually do, not just appointments and places to go and things like that. It has to be more to add. So I'm gonna work on that.
Excellent. Excellent. Julie says you need to sync your work and home calendar. Yeah, that's a great idea. I check my work calendar every day, so I have also what I have to do for my personal life in there, because my Google Calendar is same for my personal life, because as I said, I check it every day and I'm not going to miss things for work. So this is second shout out for Greg Happ, okay? Execution list, okay? This is a tool that you can implement that we've been talking about it with DR coaches, and it's basically you're putting a list of the activities that you had to do for a certain day, and it's going to setting yourself up to win, right? This can be made every Sunday or like basically every day, but I suggest that we do Sunday on the first day of the week. You're going to send your coach an execution list for that Monday, so the following Monday. Let me read the chat real quick. Okay.
It's actually a
I'm on the
lesson.
phone.
We have it set up as a lesson, y'all, so we can give this to anybody that want it. Just tell your coach.
Yeah, also, yeah. So basically what you do with the list is you set the tone for the week, and it makes you step up for whatever you have to do, keep focus and intention on the things that you want to achieve. As you see here, wake up, me time, waiting, workout, hygiene, and then you have your bedtime, the thing that I said, right? Seeing what time you have available to deal with all this other stuff, right? Does anyone try this before? Did anyone try this before and wants to share their experience? No? Okay.
I do
Moving
mine in a
forward.
little different
Yeah.
way. I
John?
don't have my my
Jody?
video. I'm sorry. So
Go ahead, Jody.
I kind of do this version of it. What I do, I have my alarms. I use my alarms and my task list on my phone, and then I have a light that's set up on a timer. So that goes off about an hour before I'm supposed to go to bed. So I know, okay, it's time to shut everything down, go in and do whatever I'm going to do before I go to bed. And then, my alarm's set for the same exact time during the week, and then the same time on the weekends. And then I use the tasks based on, oh shoot, I got to remember to make this phone call. When I know I need to make the phone call, I add the task in. So I do something, a kind of a hybrid between a list and blocking time between those two things, because it's the visual cues for me. I do really well with those kind of visual cues.
Yeah, I'm also a really visual person, so that's also great. Like as I said, you need to find the ways that work for you, and everybody's a little bit different. So glad that you find something that works for you. John, you wanted to talk or?
Yeah, so my coach had me I started doing the execution list on Sunday nights, and I'm terrible, absolutely terrible at looking at calendars. I've got one sitting next to my desk that's still on the 24th of March. It's a little tearaway calendar. I am horrible at it. But with the execution list, it's kind of a more of an accountability thing for myself. Like I said I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna make damn sure that I'm gonna do it. And I've kind of started doing the same kind of thing, just like in my head over like, so not just on Sundays. I'll do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I do it every day to kind of give myself like a, hey, I'm gonna do this, and then hold myself to it. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's the goal of it. Yeah, don't say that you're horrible with calendars. Like change that mindset. You can always improve. But yeah, as you did, right? Like finding another thing that is going to work for you and will be better for you. Okay. Okay. So, book of the month. Okay. So basically, I picked this book. I'm a huge fan of Wim Hof. I do not know if anyone of you all know this. I'm sure my clients do. But basically, I'm a huge fan of this guy. It helped me a lot with my anxiety, and like I always do guided meditation from this guy. So basically, in his book, he gives us a series of tools and things that are going to help us with our mental discipline. Okay, like I'm a huge believer that everything starts with our mind and setting that tone. Being disciplined is in our mind. So basically, it teaches like deep breathing, holding your breath, also cold exposure for immunity and circulation. Like basically listening to our body and putting us to different stimulus that is going to make us more mental resilient, right? As it says there, it aims to enhance our resilience. Main thing that we talk about in this program also is reducing stress, alleviating that anxiety, and also unlocking the body's full potential, right? Anyone read this book before or knows Wim Hof method and try any of their guided meditation before and wants to share it with the team? No? Okay. It's a great one, and if anyone wants a guided breathing YouTube video, I can send it to them. The book is really good too. I have it here. I read
you
it,
wanna
and it's
you wanna
excellent.
you wanna drop the link for the guided meditation, the YouTube, because I might do
Yes.
that tomorrow because I've been wanting to. I've heard a lot about this guy, and I've never actually done like I didn't even know he had guided meditation. So yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, so when I stop sharing my screen, I'm going to send it in the chat so everyone
That's
has
cool.
it. I'm going to send the beginner ones, and so he has one beginner. It's in every language available. So if I don't know if you like another language that you want to do it, you can try that too. But I'm going to send the beginner one and the intermediate one that they're pretty good. But I suggest that if you didn't do it before, start with the beginner one. So, client of the month, Tony Burnham. I don't think he's here. I don't remember if he told me he was going to be here, but shout out for him dropping 20 pounds, incredible body transformation. Look at how he started. He even looks like a brand new man, right? He shaved, new stomach over there. He's a badass. He has like some issues and some injuries, and that didn't stop him. So yeah, he's a great guy. He did great during the program. So congratulations to Tony. And that's all I got for you today, guys. Anyone has any questions or anyone that you want to talk about or ask me about time management or whatever it is? No? Okay, I'm going to look for the links on the WinHub and I'm going to send them to you all so you have it.
That was a good one, Tomas. Good point. I think some
Thank
people
you.
needed to hear that, or some people just needed a reminder.
Yeah, and I just want to say, as veterans, we all know how to create more time in our day, right? Does everybody know how to give yourself more hours in the day? Let me hear. Somebody tell me.
Sleep less.
Sleep less. Get up earlier. Not sleep less. I'm not gonna say sleep. I can't be the fitness guy and tell you to sleep less, but I will say get your ass to bed earlier and get your ass up earlier. So that was a game changer for me. Obviously, we all know, like we all have to do it, right? But then when you get out, it's like I don't really have to do this anymore. But I challenge you to fix your mindset and say you have to do it. Because for me, it just changed everything, right? When I'm up 2 hours before everybody, nobody can bother me. You know, I got a team of 13 now, right? So if I have 2 hours, right, where nobody's bothering me, the kids aren't awake, nobody else is awake, right? That's just gold, right? That's just time where I can focus on what I need to do, right? And for some of you, it's not running a business, it's running your body as a business, right? So it's like, oh, well, I don't have time to do this and I don't have time to do that. Well, get your ass up earlier, put in your time blocks, follow your time blocks, do your meditation, drink your water, get your food in order, right? You guys got to track your food every day anyway. Why not just get up early, put all your food in for the day? If it doesn't go perfect, move things around, but have the plan of attack for the day, right? When's your workout? What are we doing for the workout? Am I looking at my workout before I get into it? Right. I don't like to be surprised. So I want to know exactly what the fuck I'm doing before my workout. Right. We're not, one thing I did in the last month is I deleted all the social media off my app. So, and you guys see me posting and stuff still, but my team does that for me. We have all our content already put out there, that stuff. So deleting social media has been a game changer for me too. I might get on it again one day here soon. And in fact, I'm not like completely off of it. So what I do is a little hack that helps. So you're not like completely fucking like out of the loop. Is you put it in your browser on your Safari, right? But it's so fucking boggy and it sucks. Like it's just not friendly. It's not user friendly like the apps are. So like you just want to get off after like a couple minutes of scrolling anyway. So it's nice to just I know I can get it when I need to. If I really need to see something or feel like I want to check in on somebody, it's there. But it's not just so easy to one tap on my app and then I can scroll endlessly and it's so user friendly that it's like a bag of potato chips. Like the goal is just keep you going, right? So yeah, I challenge everybody to do that. But if not, worst case scenario, at least get your ass up, right? We all know what 0 dark 30 means. So, and you're all capable of doing it, right? And again, getting up is for you, right? Even my wife, who she'll sleep until like noon, 1 o'clock if you let her. Like literally was not a morning person before I met her, right? And she gets up at 5 a.m. with me. She does her workout, she has her time. And she's always pissed off when she doesn't get up because she's like, oh, that bed felt really good this morning. I was sleeping. It's like, but now you're all pissy because you didn't get any time for yourself and the kids are up in your shit, right? So especially for you moms out there, You got to have that free time. You got to have that time to get the stuff you need done. And then it's great because it's like, if you can get 90% of your day done before anybody even wakes up, it's like, then you can have like some room to be a little bit inefficient. You can have some room to be a little bit unproductive, right? Because it's like, dude, I already got my shit done for the day. Like, I could chill the rest of the day. I'm not going to, but it's like, the kid gets sick, you're not gonna be all, oh, I had all this shit I had to do. Well, if you got a lot of it done in the morning, it's like, it's not as big of a deal. So anyways, I'll get off my soapbox, but that's
I
what
got a
I'm
question,
parting
Matt.
on you guys today. Yes, sir.
Who has their day set up to go efficiently when they wake from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed? Just raise your hand. Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all one of my life hacks that made my day more efficient, right? Every night I have my free time after 8:30, right? But part of my free time don't start until I got my day set up for tomorrow. So I got my food lined up in the refrigerator in the order I'm gonna grab it and eat it. So I put my dinner in there first, my lunch in there second, my breakfast in there, if I eat breakfast, which is normally, a protein shake and yogurt right there in the front. So I'm grabbing it one at a time. I don't have to find it, right? Same thing with my vitamins. They on my kitchen counter, right? Who has a hard time getting up in the morning?
I do.
Who uses light to get up in the morning? Okay, so this is another one of my tricks. I also have all my clothes that I'm gonna wear for the next day laid out on the floor in the order I'm gonna put them on. I'm that little OCD-ish, right? But my mornings, it takes me 10 minutes to get up, get ready, get out the house to the gym. So I have my first set of clothes on top of my second and my second on top of my third. I just got to put them on in the order I'm gonna put them on. Turn the light off in my bedroom, turn the light off in my bathroom, do my business in the bathroom, turn the light off on there, turn the light on in the kitchen, grab what I need out the kitchen, turn that light off, and I'm out the door. When I get home, I got everything set up. I don't have to go look for it. I don't have to focus on it. I'm just automatic. Just boom, boom, boom. It's right there. The night before, how much time y'all think that takes me to do the night before? I'm gonna let some of
20
y'all guess. Huh?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay, who else wants to guess?
I was gonna say about 15, 20.
Okay, who else?
5 minutes.
10 minutes.
Depends on if you're
said 10
cooking your
minutes.
food already.
It's already
Yeah.
cooked. I meat prep. So all my clients know I don't meal prep, I meat prep. Because I don't like to reheat vegetables. So I cook whatever meats I'm gonna eat for the week. And then I just grab my vegetables fresh out of the freezer. Right? It takes me a little over 8 minutes to do that every night. I even know which towel I'm gonna wash my body with. So for you guys to say, "Oh, I'm too busy. Okay, how efficient is your day set up for you to the day before for you to be able to be efficient with your time and not say you're busy?" Sometimes you got to go to that extreme with that kind of stuff, if that makes sense. So who has their day set up pretty smoothly?
Retired.
Pretty efficient.
Super smooth.
Now,
Okay.
so
Annette?
everything that you just described is what I used to do when I was in the Army. Honestly, I used to prepare lunch and everything the night before, and I used to prepare everything that I was gonna take with me. My coffee mug was in place, ready for the coffee. I mean, everything, my clothes. But that was when I was in the Army, and now I'm retired. So, and I'm not saying that it's not a good idea to wake up early, but I think I if that's what is required now. I guess I
So
will
let me
do
ask you
it,
this,
but
Annette. How much easier was your day when you did that versus now?
oh, it was easier, way easier. Yes.
Okay. How much stress did you have back then?
Not that I'm back to the office.
Okay. And what kind of shape were you in?
Very in good shape.
Well, I was in very good shape then too.
Okay, so this is one of the reasons why. So this is one of the reasons why Matt started this for vets, right? All you vets know how to do the shit. So you did it when somebody told you to do it, but you don't want to do it for yourself.
That's a good point.
That makes no sense
John,
whatsoever.
And that's what I say. I agree. Yeah.
Right.
it's
So
not
for
gonna be hard for me.
You did it for Uncle Sample, you can do it for
so
yourself.
for the vets, that should be easy for you. I'm going right back to what I know and it works.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? For the ex-athletes,
Yeah,
like collegiate athletes, right? Or professional athletes. Go ahead, Matt. My bad.
I think as vets we struggle with this, right? Because it's like
Mhm.
we don't have to do it anymore, and we had to do it,
Mhm.
right? But there's a reason that we're the best fighting force in the world, right? Like these things are put in place for a reason. It's a system, right? And systems equal success. So yeah, it sucks. Yeah, you don't want to have to do it anymore. But if you look at it in the way of like, well, I get to do this now, right? I get to control all these things. Yes, I have to be more structured. Yes, I have to be more disciplined again, but I can structure it the way I want to do it as opposed to being told how to do it, right? If you don't like fucking getting up early, cool. Don't get up early. But if you just simply need to start your day in a different way, right? Maybe it's you're staying up later, but instead of fucking Netflix binging and scrolling through social media, that's when you're doing your 2 hour, I don't know, productivity time, right? And you still sleep in until whenever time you want. But it's just a structure, but it can look different for everybody. There's nobody in your ear yelling at you to do it one way. But again, structure equals freedom, like Greg was saying, right? Structure equals success. Bubba, I see that hand up. You got something?
Yeah, but look, I probably got the worst job in the world. I travel across 6 or 7 states, 6 days a week. I drive anywhere between 12 and 18 hours a day. I'm responsible for 1,000 trucks and I'm on call 24/7. Everybody's got to find that one niche. For me, that niche was, what would my soldiers that aren't here no more think about the way I'm treating myself? How disappointed would they be? Once I started finding that one thing, every day my one thing changes. You know, I have to prep my whole day and have 3 backup plans in case I get called into work early, in case I have to work. Like today, I went to work at 2:30 this morning. I worked until 5:30. That meant 5:30 to 7. That's my gym and my food time. Like my day is so unpredictable doing the traditional time block management and everything. I can't do. But if you find that one thing that drives you, whether it's your kids, whether it's the way you look in the mirror, whether it's the way you feel about yourself, that will change the entire way of your time management. And then time won't be an issue. Like no matter what the obstacle is, I'm going to kick that damn obstacle in the chest and I'm going to run through it. I don't have no choice no more. And once you hit that wall and you don't have a choice, the excuses go out the window. Because they did with me. Yeah, it's Jesse.
Man, I forgot to stop recording. Got stuck in a moment.
Hey,
That's
excuse me,
tenacity
sorry.
right there.
My husband wants to